Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, may I have your attention, please? Zooming to you from at least 3 different places in the DFW Metroplex. This is Far Out Fiesta, episode 197, the Talbot Family Horror Podcast. I am your host and humble narrator, Richard Houghton.
He is. He completely is.
Please give it up for our amazing cast, JuliAnna Briscoe.
Yeah.
Robb Hudspeth. And Kristin King. Before we do the rest of the hilarious show, quick question. This isn't meant to be dark, but what band would you want to play at your funeral? And this could be an alive or dead band. What band would you like to play at your funeral? Robb, I will start with you.
Kiss.
Kiss? That would be
Kiss.
awesome.
Yeah. If I want to go out, baby, I want Kiss doing my City, you know, just the whole car.
Awesome.
Out.
I support that. I'll be there.
Thank you.
What about you, Kristin?
Smiths.
Yeah.
Maybe.
All right. Cool.
That's kind of a different.
Another different.
I guess it depends if you die, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Big difference.
Yeah. Living or dead. Jules?
I guess that depends on what I want everybody to feel.
Yeah.
It's about what you feel
It's about you, man.
when you're dead.
Do I want them to party or do I want them to be sad?
That's a good question. Yeah, I'm going with
I want
party.
to rock and roll.
I go with Queen.
Queen? That's an awesome
Yeah.
choice.
Oh yeah.
Cool.
Good luck with that one.
Well, he's in a
I
lot.
mean,
Yeah.
Lambert actually is supposed to be said to be
Yeah,
even
he
better
is.
than Freddie Mercury, according to what I've heard.
Yeah.
So they could play.
Mine
He
is.
doesn't have the mutant mouth that Freddie.
He doesn't. No music.
It's true. They like, you know, his mouth like it harmonics because of its shape.
That's true.
Those normal mouths.
How about you?
Normal mouths.
Me, I want, and I think they've all OD'd and died and stuff, but I would like the Ramones actually to play at my funeral.
Okay.
Yeah, nice
Which
choice.
song?
Yeah, anything. Gosh, I mean, I Want to Be Sedated. That's my favorite, but I'm not sure.
For a funeral, that's not a bad one.
I guess it's not.
No, you're permanently sedated, so
That's right.
that works.
Yeah, all right. Let's go.
Yep.
The Talbot Family Horror Podcast. What's it all about?
Well, why don't we dive right in and find out?
Well, all right. Well, our audience needs some kind of context, you know, to be able to engage to show somewhat, since it's so all over the place, only all the time.
The Talbot Family Horror Podcast is,
Is it that Sasquatch family sitcom?
no.
Is it the Rodeo Clown Junkie sitcom?
No.
Okay, it's not that Lobster Scooby-Doo ripoff, is it?
Or the Peanuts ripoff?
Or the Housewives ripoff?
Captain Goodfellow?
No.
Is it the Single Marshall?
No.
That Love Boat Bus thing.
No. It's something new. It's this family of monsters. Yeah, monsters who have a podcast where they show a clip, review the clip, and have a guest from the movie on their show.
That doesn't sound terrible, because after all, we've never met any of these characters.
Well, I mean, except us. We're doing all the commercials, and all the commercials are for they're for film festivals.
It almost makes sense. As much as anything about this podcast ever does.
I don't know. Seems like a bad idea.
It's only a bad idea if anybody sees it.
We're safe.
I mean, this is the only thing I had planned between 8 and 8:30, so yeah, I guess I'll stay and do the show.
Far out. Let's fiesta.
Talbot Family Horror Podcast. What's it all about?
In a moment, the Talbot family will introduce themselves.
Well, you know, having them introduce themselves is not a terrible idea. I mean, also in the not a terrible idea category, The movie series they will be discussing is Witch Condo and Witch Condo 2.
So obscure, I had never heard of them until I read their titles in the script tonight, well, in rehearsal. Then I thought, wow, how good this material is, how interesting this material is.
Also, in the not terrible idea category, each film will be appearing with a guest from each film on the podcast. Cue cards.
So, what are your thoughts about changing the name of the not a terrible idea category to the good idea category?
Denied.
Aw.
The sponsors for tonight's show are either independent film festivals or film races.
That may fall into the terrible idea category.
Meet the Talbot family.
The Talbot
Family Podcast.
Many years ago, sugar darlings, there had been a mysterious count living down the road from my beignet parlor.
Is beignet that stuff you rub on when you pull a muscle?
That's Bengay, honey child.
It kind of sounds the same. Beignet, beignet. When you see it in print, it's even more confusing.
Many years ago, dingo darlings, when I lived down the road from a mysterious count.
I never met a count who wasn't cursed. Bloodthirsty. I too carry the burden of a horrible curse.
It's my shorts. I carry the burden of frizzy hair after very heavy rain.
I had the strangest dream. Lost a few pints of weight, honey baby sugar doll. Then I started sleepwalking and developed anemia. I started drinking human blood. I have taken a leave of absence from my job as school teacher to be part of this podcast.
Before I was executed for my crime, I was arrested after I attempted to ruin a child's outdoor birthday party.
Well, that's a crime you can be executed for.
Do you know those big trash cans they have in public parks?
Sure do, Locust Dumpling.
That's what I used to get the feces to the park. I was arrested for smearing feces all over the picnic benches at a child's birthday party.
Whose feces, lamb cake?
Oh, does that matter? Do you have something I can fetch?
Many of the children had to pluck out their own noses.
Well, that is serious.
Now I have been relaminated.
Reanimated.
Reanimated by a mad genius, and I can be part of this podcast. I drowned a little girl because she showed me a flower.
But I was a werewolf. He attacked me. He changed me into a werewolf. Pardon me while I run around in a circle and sit down.
Is this Bella a character for his prequel?
Where is the beef? I don't think you get prequels in real life.
What do I know? I am a reanimated, low-level thug. Everything confuses and frightens me.
Last summer, fleas were everywhere. I was the first and only so-called person.
I like what you did there. The so-called person. Hey, burn your face.
The first so-called person to climb the captain without any ropes or safety gear, and with frightened lobsters clamped on me down there. It's also how I do this podcast every night. with lobsters clasped on my testicles. They helped me focus. I wouldn't have it any other way. I'm chasing my tail with lobsters dangling from my sack.
Okay, my turn.
I think so.
Okay, an ancient...
I spend so much money on lobsters. I'm sorry, please keep going.
Okay, so the ancient Egyptian mummy thought to be Queen Anya, which were the royal names in Egypt, and not the aliases of one of the notorious KGB agents in history, because I am not KGB agents. I was discovered by a team of archaeologists.
A team of archaeologists? What did they have on their jersey?
Numbers, they're jerseys.
An ancient Egyptian mummy, not a KGB agent, was discovered by a team of archaeologists.
In numbered jerseys, home slice.
And inadvertently brought back to life through a magic scroll.
People should not be poking their crocodile flower noses into other people's magic scrolls.
Yes, and I am mummy. You got it, dude. I cannot deny it more. That I was strongest and most useful KGB agent for the last 30 years, retiring literally minutes before I come here to tonight's podcast.
We're all siblings, Teddy Bear.
All four of us.
Siblings!
Siblings.
Siblings!
Well, as close as he's gonna get. Fire!
Ah! Bad! Not cool, man.
We're all siblings.
That's all you need to know. Nobody survives my neurotoxin. Isn't that special?
I'll feed your scraps to the farmer's pigs. There won't be nothing left, Sugar Blossom Muffin.
Werewolves are way more dangerous than mummies.
That's laughable and uncalled for.
Okay, well, which film trilogy will we be reviewing tonight, Talbot siblings?
Witch Condo. I think it's part of the Witch Mountain series.
No! Witch Condo couldn't lick the dung-covered boots of the Witch Mountain series.
Mummies are really good at strangling werewolves. Want to try?
Oh, big whoa!
We'll have a trailer from Witch Condo, a review, and one of the actors from Witch Condo to join us after we have reviewed film. Sorry, Charlie.
Well, we will also be viewing and reviewing Witch Condo 2, since our God hates us.
Or the visits from cast members.
After we have reviewed their films.
And specifically their performances. And Baby Doll Honey Lamb Child, I know a lot about performances in the bedroom.
Oh, yeah.
We all understood that.
We know you mentioned that
Obvious.
usually 5 or 6 times.
Our first trailer is Witch Condo.
We'll roll the trailer, then we'll review it.
We will also meet one of the cast members and let them know what we thought about Witch Condo.
Blah, 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 blah. Roll trailer, happy campers.
From the studio that brought you 5 wolves and some pasta, it's Witch Condo.
I wonder what month, day, year it is. I wonder what month, day, year it is, and what city we're in.
Well, it's May Day, 1998, in the city of Podcast.
Thanks.
Elizabeth gathers Ryan Craig to a rather odd party.
Gather, right? Gather, Craig.
Man, I mean, the last person who asked me to gather is stuffed in a mattress, riding in a slip and slide behind La Madeleine on Walnut Hill.
Dead?
Chillaxin.
Don't do that.
Well, I'm here. What up, Elizabeth?
But don't do that. Instead, narrate the rest of this trailer.
Well, it turns out that Elizabeth is a descendant of a malevolent witch.
Not only am I malevolent, I'm also malicious, malignant, murderous, sinister, vengeful, vicious, and wicked.
A bad-natured?
Don't do that. I am having a bad week. I think what would help me out is conjuring an ancestor. Or I think Clarkson is on. What was my dreadful ancestor's name?
The descendant of a bad-natured witch named Meredith.
Meredith. The name is Meredith.
He was burned at the stake precisely 300 years ago.
Burning me at the stake. Not cool. You villagers' great-great-great-great-grandchildren had better not summon the remains of myself. And I'm dead.
So for 300 years, until somebody said the wrong thing to Elizabeth at the express lane at Aldi.
No, I didn't see that they made a light version. That's it. I summon thee, Meredith.
Now, Elizabeth hopes to resurrect her dreadful ancestor and has a specific and murderous need for Lawrence and Rye.
What for?
I have a specific and murderous need for Lawrence and Rye.
Specific needs are... Oh, I don't know.
It doesn't have to be specific. It can be that other thing.
Murderous.
Your words.
Murderous need?
Man, the last person who mentioned a murderous need to me is dog paddling down the mighty Mississippi, sponge bathing an elderly jockey.
I'm back. Get ready for F-bombing mayhem.
Witch condo. A conjured up 300-year-old witch in a condo.
Okay, not much of a trailer. You know what I'm saying?
There's not much of a movie.
I didn't get a sense of what it was about from the trailer.
Well, didn't you watch the whole movie, darling cub?
Sure did. It didn't help either. My senses were stronger the original time I was alive.
It was a bad movie. Really bad movie. Which condo made me wonder how much worse number 2 could be.
Yeah, let's talk about Little Bar. Is that your final answer? Okay, so we meet Craig from which condo now?
Sniff his butt and tell him to his face what we thought about his piece of crap movie.
Right after this commercial, Cranapple Muffins.
Kansas
City, 14-hour coat hanger killer film race. Yeah. All right. Okay, so Podcast City's 14-hour coat hanger killer film race challenge. It challenges local filmmakers to write, shoot, and edit a short film with tips for budding coat hanger killers in just 14 hours.
In 2020, the competition enters its 113th year of encouraging local filmmakers and film fans to imagine what it takes to kill a bunch of people with coat hangers.
All participants from the Podcast City Quadruplex are eligible, with the exception of people who want to prosecute the festival for advocating coat hanger murders.
The competition begins on a Friday at 5 p.m. when the teams pick up their inspiration package of deadly coat hangers that must be included in the film.
Then they have only 14 hours to deliver a finished short film glorifying coat hanger.
It is an intense exercise that pushes the filmmakers to their limits with often amazing death counts.
Yeah, the resulting short films under 7 minutes have been from a wide variety of genres, including dark comedies, thrillers, and even a few musicals. I mean, as long as somebody dies as a result of a coat hanger attack, we're groovy.
Note, if any coat hanger public violence is planned for your shoot, we encourage you to please contact your city police and pay them off so that they will keep their big yaps shut.
Because lawyers are the responsibility of the teens.
Simple and have fun.
Podcast City, 14-hour coat hanger killer film
race.
Lordy, I hate my life. What the suck did I do to you, universe? Oh, sorry. Oh, well, our first guest is Craig from Which Condo. Welcome, Craig.
Well, it's great to be with you, Nora.
Oh.
Did everyone responsible for this movie mean to suck so much? It's worse than having something sticky matted in your fur.
What?
Hey, dude, cool your jets. Ease in. Do not start out to be so mean.
Or not mean at all. I mean, I am your guest.
And best we can do is not so mean so fast, dog.
Craig, sweetie lamb, we recently watched Which Condo, and we'll review it to your face in a
To
moment.
my face?
Well, but before we do that, Weeping Sore, I have a quick question about your acting choices.
Did you just refer to me as the weeping sore?
It's a Southern thing.
Questions about my acting choices are my favorite.
Remind me again what your character's name was.
Craig. Everybody in the film used their real name.
Craig is a wretched name.
Okay, dude, take chill pill.
I noticed, Trampoline Gumdrop, that you chose to portray Craig as a sniveling little weasel. And why would you do a stupid thing like that?
Well, Craig was the closest character I've ever played to the real Craig, so I'm not sure how to answer that.
Can I do my review now? I need to curl up for a nap.
Go nuts.
Not only was Which Condo 93 minutes too long,
It's only 94 minutes long.
but everyone connected with it should be banned from any kind of film making for the next 30 years.
Well, I mean, even rodent snuff films.
Banned from any kind of film making for the next 30 years.
At least. Okay, so can I do a review now?
Sure. He's not crying yet.
Okay, so they burned me in Witch Meredith at the STEK, not the STEKE, which that could mean she had just eaten the steak, and that's whack.
It was the metaphor.
For what?
Surf and turf.
Like,
My turn, Craig. I found Which Condo worse than when they use that noisy drill thing to chunk plaque off my teeth. I found your performances, though, to be the only bright spot.
Oh, you did?
I sure did.
Well, thank you.
Do you have any food allergies?
Well, why do you ask?
It's a pretty standard question we ask for people plugging films on our show, Banjo Kitten.
Well, I mean, I am deathly allergic to shellfish.
okay, then you don't go postal if I shove 9 shrimp in your mouth.
Well, I just told you that I'm deathly allergic to shellfish.
Yes, okay, open mouth, Miss Thang.
No, I'll die.
Lawrence, will you please hasta la vista, baby his ass?
Can we at least go to a commercial?
Is that your answer to everything? Going to commercial, Yam Jelly? Well,
Okay, so final trailer is Witch Condo 2.
I'm actually dying. Would somebody please get their shrimp out of my mouth? Werewolf!
Hey, come back here.
Let's roll the trailer, then we'll review it.
We will also meet one of the cast members and let them know what we thought about Witch Condo 2.
Yeah, talk to the hen and roll the trailer.
Our second trailer is Witch Condo 2.
All right. When an old house in a small town is raised to make way for a shopping mall, Craig unearths 4 unmarked graves.
I mean, money is always more important than sacred ground. Although it was a lot of work raising that old house by myself.
Humble brag.
Although it was a lot of work raising that old house by myself, it was so worth it. I do just a little non-specific digging right here. What? Unmarked graves? 4 of them.
A professor from like a nearby university is asked to find out who the bodies are.
I am a very respected and tenured professor at a nearby university. I need some of my top students to figure out who these bodies are. Students they're like sucking cockroaches to squish one and 8 more come in their place.
So like when the respected tenured professor at nearby university.
That's me.
And her students.
That's
us. Arrive in town and begin to ask questions like, how do we determine what is truly real and what is not?
How do we overcome prejudice and social bias?
Begin asking questions to find out who the bodies are. Hey?
Who are those bodies?
I'm a professor at a nearby university, and these are 2 of my top students.
When they begin asking questions about who the bodies are, they discover that no one wants to talk to them or help them in any way.
Is there in some way that you will help us? No? Darn it!
Witch Condo 2.
Okay, so not much of trailer, my boo.
I've seen better trailers being rated for math.
Nothing from that trailer was about witches or condos.
Did you watch the whole movie, Sug?
Twice it didn't help. Perhaps my reanimated corpse eyes deceive me.
Bad movie. Bad movie. Witch Condo 2 was a worse sequel than World War II.
Oh, there it is.
We will meet Rye from Witch Condo 2 right after this commercial chicken salad with grapes. Yeah.
You know, some of your pet names are strange.
Well, your slang is outdated and you're using the terms incorrectly.
Hook
on Hook Killer Festival.
Not to be confused with the 14-hour coat hanger killer film race. HookCon is a festival that encourages the positive depiction of hook killers and hook killings in film and television.
Featuring a somewhat curated program of films and videos that celebrate and explore the wide diversity of hook killers and hook killings.
Works presented by HookCon range from hook-killing documentaries to hook-killer dramas, to hook camp comedies, to hook-killer artsy, experimental, mildly spicy, to quite explicit and everything in between. As long as hooks kill.
In addition to the hook killing screenings, the annual festival also includes hook killing performance art and a gala kickoff fundraiser to pay for funeral expenses for anyone who was inadvertently killed by a hook in one of the festival submissions.
All followed by a Blood AF national screening tour. HookCon, Hook Killer Festival. Must we do this again? Why, Lord, why? Oh, sorry. Our final guest is Rye from Witch Condo 2. Welcome, Rye.
Great to be with you, Nora. Hey, what's with the bright lights? I'm like sweating like a chunk of rancid pork.
Your movie confused me. I wasn't sure who the witch was. I wasn't sure who the condo was. I'm fighting the urge to either strangle you or throw you off a cliff.
What?
Yeah, you go, girl.
What?
Sorry, strangling you would be off the chain.
Are you messing with me, man?
Rye, Niblet Corn. We recently reluctantly watched Witch Condo 2, and we'll review it to your face in a moment.
Hey, I can take it, man.
Well, but before we do that, Baby Biscuit, I have a quick question about the unusual extra big nose prosthetic you wore in the film.
That's my own nose.
Oh, okay. Remind me again, what your character's name was.
Right. Everybody in the film used their real name.
Oh, well. Well, okay, that's right. I thought that was dumb in Witch Condo also.
Somebody may need to strap me down. I really want to strangle this guy.
Yes, I am also fighting same urge, home skillet.
I noticed, Mr. Belvedere, that you chose to portray Rye as an unhinged freak about ready to snap. Why would you do a stupid thing like that?
Hey, come on, lady. I mean, I show up, I hit my marks, I say my lines.
Can I do my review now?
Go nuts.
Not only was Witch Condo 2 93 minutes too long,
Hey, man, it was like only 94 minutes long.
but the absence of witches and condos makes your film a lying sack of shit. I can't say that anymore. Crap!
Hey, man, I mean, potato.
Man, I want to strangle you.
Can I do review now?
Sure, he's not crying yet.
Okay, so if 4 unmarked graves are discovered, I would expect police to be altered, not professor from nearby university.
Oh, huh, yeah, that would have made more sense.
Well, my turn, Rye. I found Witch Condo 2 more painful than a broken femur. I found your performance to be the only bright spot.
You did?
Sure did.
Thank you.
How long can you hold your breath? When you're like sealed in a 50-gallon drum?
Why do you ask?
It's a pretty standard question we ask for people plugging films on our show, Potato Cakes.
Well, see, I only have one working lung, so it wouldn't be very long.
Okay, great. So climb into 50-gallon drum and we seal it up airtight.
Okay, I just told you that I'm a unilung.
Okay, so climb in, player.
No! I'll die!
Lloyd, you're going to have to strangle him first.
Well, hey, why are you killing me? What have I ever done to you?
We're just making sure there's no Witch Condo 3, Puddin'.
Oh, well, then I accept my fate.
And this has been Far Out Fiesta episode 197. Oh, Talbot Family Horror. Golly. The Talbot Family Horror Podcast. I have been your host and humble narrator, Richard Houghton.
He has. He always has, always shall.
Yes, JuliAnna Briscoe.
Yay!
Robb Hudspeth. And Kristin Key. But any projects they'd like to plug? Anything?
Hey, so was this the concept of like Christmas in July, but Halloween in July?
I don't know what it was. I don't know what it was.
Ooh, look at that.
It's cute.
Pardon?
That's cool.
Oh, they're doing boob tricks.
Who's doing boob tricks?
I see it now.
No, he's decapitated. See?
Yes, he is. He's a floating head.
My head.
Right. I think that's how we
Decapitated
end.
trick.
We've been cooped up in our homes way too long.
Yes, we have. All right. Good night, everybody. We will see you next week.
Later.
Night.